Hello, very good evening and welcome to the United... No, that's football. I wish it was the United stand. Almost did it subconsciously on purpose there because really wish we were watching the United stand. Really wish we were talking about Manchester United against Brentford. But we're really not going to be doing that tonight because we really are going to be doing a watch-along for Manchester City against Leeds, who, fair play, actually have got a game of football on. So welcome to the show. It's Leeds against Manchester City. Now, the last time I did Leeds against Manchester City, dun 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 dun, Dallas, dun 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 dun. So maybe we'll get that again. Maybe we'll get that again. I don't know, but you're all very welcome. Look, whether this is the star game of the night or not, it is what it is, but we're here. We'll make the most of it and we'll have a good time. That's what it's all about. It's Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. So Man City are going to be strong favourites for this. I tell you what, I tell you what, Kevin Keegan, I love it. I'll absolutely love it if Leeds get a result here, but I don't expect it. So let's hope that we get a good game of football at the end of the day. That's what we want. But Norwich are playing Aston Villa. At least we didn't have to watch that. We've got Manchester City against Leeds United. Leeds United, that's what we've got. So let's wait and see how this goes. I'll give you the team news. I'm just going to put a tweet out. I mean, remember as well, we are trying to get to 600,000 subscribers by Christmas. So please subscribe to the channel if you are watching. That would be appreciated. I will... let me just put this out. Join in the match. Chat. Bang. Tweet. Bridge. There we go. So players are coming out. I don't know what the teams are myself yet because I was just live on the United stand. So let's have a quick look at the team then tonight. Tonight in the Premier League. COVID passports are coming in, by the way, so we can talk about that if you want to. I mean, anything. We can talk about anything tonight. So get it in. Get it in. That's what she said. Right, lineups, here we go. Man City top of the league with 38 points, of course. They play first before Liverpool and Chelsea play on Thursday night. West Ham Arsenal tomorrow night. Hopefully that will go ahead. I'm looking forward to that. You know what? I actually feel a little... I'll talk about... Remind me, I'll come back on that one. So Ederson, Stones, Diaz and Laporte. They're playing with a back 3-4-3 for Leeds for City tonight. Stones, Diaz and Laporte. Rodri, De Bruyne, Zinchenko, Bernardo Silva. And then Mahrez, Grealish and Foden. So he's playing a very different way against Leeds. He's going to have a pop at them. Who've got Meslier in goal, Shackleton, Ayling, Llorente, Firpo, Dallas and Forshaw. And then Rafinha, Roberts, Harrison and Dan James. They're missing some key players actually at the moment. Leeds, obviously their midfielder who plays for England, who I've completely forgotten his name. But Bamford, they're missing him. And why can't I think of his bloody name? I've had a complete and utter brain blank there. Why am I thinking Edwards? It's not his name. What's the name of the midfield? Oh, I don't want to look at the live chat because I feel stupid for forgetting his name. Anyway, we come back and I will get told it now. No Bamford, Calvin Phillips. That's it, not Edwards. So yeah, no Bamford, no Phillips. So Leeds. I mean, I think this could be bad for Leeds tonight. They don't really have the quality to cause them problems. But no Dallas either. Right, that's bad news for them. Oh no, Dallas is playing. Sorry, Stuart Dallas is playing. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, I think Man City will win this quite comfortably. Yeah, Leeds are just not anywhere near the side they were last season. Oh God, I was so tired. Rubbish night's sleep last night. As I said, I don't know whether I said it on the show last night. I woke up at like 1 o'clock last night. I must have fell asleep at about 11:30. I woke up about 1 o'clock, and I did this thing which I don't normally do, which is I checked my phone. And when I checked my phone, I saw the United game had been cancelled. So that messed with my head. I couldn't get back to sleep then. So I'm quite tired, which is probably why I'll yawn a lot. But yeah, this would be a huge shock. I know they only beat Wolves 1-0 at the weekend, but this would be a huge shock for Leeds to get a result here today. I don't foresee it. I don't foresee it at all. I think it'll be a straightforward win for Manchester City, who even earlier than last year seemed to ominously be moving into the lead. I mean, I'd love Man City to start dropping some points, but they look like they're moving through the gears again, Manchester City, and I expect them to win. Score predictions in the chat. I'm going to say 3-0 to Manchester City tonight. Yeah, 3-0. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. We're up and running anyway. Let me get the timer on the screen for you. In fact, the timer is on the screen. There we go. Bernardo Silva has been quality, Ryan. You're absolutely right. Is Stones playing at right back? I think they're playing a 3-4-3, to be honest. And the problem with Leeds is that they play so open that they... Man United... Ollie used to love... Ollie! Did you say Ollie? I loved playing against Leeds, Goldie. If I could play against Leeds every week... I'd be manager of the year, Premier League winner, and that would be it. But I tell you what, I'd be in a job. So I think Leeds play in a way that they're just so open, and the way Man City play, they'll love to play against an open side. Dan James, could he be the hero? Dan James has caused Man City problems before in a Manchester United shirt, so hopefully that could happen again, but I don't foresee it. Empty had, yes. If you do need tickets, if your game has been cancelled, you can always go and watch Man City play. Basically what we're doing in a virtual way. Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with the volume. Turn your own volume up, you cheeky get. Nice ball into De Bruyne. They're going to be defending a lot here today. Here is De Bruyne. Could be an early goal. Foden, blocked. Yeah, it's going to be a long old night. A long old night. You don't need to sink when the timer's below. No sinking. No sinking. But yeah, what I must remind myself is that I really do, completely naively, maybe, but I do feel a little bit more positive about Premier League football and COVID than I did last night. I felt last night, when United's game got called off, I was like, this is just going to become really bad. But I think it sort of dawned on me today how important it is for the Premier League and the Premier League clubs to play football. So I think they will be a lot more serious. Good, lovely play by Grealish there. Gets a shot off as well from outside the box. Manchester is red, says the Cringe. Thanks for the super chat. But I do think with the daily testing that the Premier League clubs are going to do, and the COVID passports, and you don't have to isolate if you've been vaccinated and somebody's got the virus. That should lead to clubs being able to maintain. I think there will be times where I think the Premier League are going to have to come out with a rule and say, look, if you can put 14 senior players out, you play the game. But I think once they do that, we should get a lot of football. But Leeds just are a team that's going to have to play on the break. That's the problem today. And they are on the break here. Into the box they go. And wins a goal kick, not a corner. Is Grealish a flop, says Himanshu. Is Jack Grealish a flop? It's almost a little short in itself. No and yes. No, I like... I'll come back to that, Andrew C. I will talk about my Christmas dinner in a minute. I'm very excited. Can you call Jacob sus, says Josh. I don't think Jack Grealish is a flop because I think he's a good player. The question is he a Manchester City player? And therefore, if he's not a Manchester City player, is he a flop? So it's a yes and no answer. I mean, he's not a £100 million player, but that's what Man City had to pay to get him. So that's not necessarily his fault. Is he as good as Bernardo Silva or Mahrez or Foden? No. Can he become that good? Maybe. He started this game off quite nicely. 1-2 there with De Bruyne. I mean, Man City have got so many players today that can cause them problems. So you've basically got your three... I think John Stones is almost playing as a right back, really. Zinchenko on the left. You've then got Rodri, Foden, De Bruyne, Silva, Grealish, Mahrez. It's... so much flair in that team. I don't think Grealish regrets leaving Villa, Sean, because he's on amazing money in a team that's probably going to win a major trophy, which he would never do at Villa. So I I don't think Grealish regrets it. Why are there so many empty seats, Mark? Says John. Because this is Manchester City and they can't fill their stadium. So that's basically the answer. You know, they can argue about that as much as they like, but they can't fill their stadium. They just can't do it. And it's all right them saying it's only Leeds, but Leeds is still quite a local side. So I don't know about the Brighton game on Saturday. Rivan, they've got to play their game tomorrow night first and see if they come through that without any more COVID cases, I suppose. If you sing Blinded by the Lights, Dan James will score the winner, says Shaheen. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. Yeah, it won't happen though. As much as I'd love it to happen, I don't think it will. It'd be good for the league if Man City lost, but I think Man City are looking like they're in a very good run of form at the moment. Slow Sports News. Let's go live to Griffin Park. Manchester United against Brentford. They've been 36 minutes, 0-0. Nobody here. But it's still 0-0. Back to you, Jeff. Maguire is a flop, Mark, says Mancunian Swagger. Ricky will be over the moon if he scores the winner. He will. This is where Leeds get themselves into trouble. Playing out from the back. That's I mean, this is 1-0. This is 1-0, surely. Oh, what a miss by Bernardo Silva. It should have been 1-0. Leeds passing out from the back like Stevie Wonder. And Man City being Man City, they can carve a team open when they don't want to be. They're definitely going to carve a team open when it's 4 against 3. And De Bruyne just squares it to Bernardo Silva and he basically misses an open goal. Mad miss. Timo Silva. And he should have scored. A great game to see. Tactical battle, Art of War, says Philman. Apparently Man City are winless against Leeds since 2003, says Italy. But they've probably only played them twice since then. Since they've been a big team anyway. Timonardo Silva. I'm nicking that. I'm nicking that. Himanshu. Know that the tweet came from him. He'll go and score a hat-trick still. Don't worry about that. He's on fire. He's on fire. Do. Here we go. Meslier. Oh, for God's sake. Leeds are shit. Absolute shit. They are absolutely crap, aren't they? Leeds are shit. They really are. I mean, I cannot explain how shit they are. Like, they've done it again. They should be 1-0 down because of Bernardo Silva. I mean, this is Foden. Missed 2 tackles. Keeper misses a 3rd tackle. And then it's not. It's oh God. It's about 4 errors. It should never go in. Who's that Pratt on the line for Leeds? Foden's hardly even hit it. Oh, for God, get back in the bloody Championship. What a shit goal that is. Oh, it's game over, isn't it? Game over after 8 minutes. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, Foden shoots from the edge of the box through a crowd. It's hardly got any speed on it at all. And the Leeds player goes to kick it and spins it off his own bloody foot into the goal. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish goal. This could be anything now. The entertainment in this is going to be how many bloody Leeds concede because they should be 2-0 down already. They're crap. Absolutely crap. Matthew says turn on the Villa game. Grealish has just gone down injured here. There's nothing in that. Would I rather play for City or Liverpool? I'd play for either if I was a professional footballer. I've never been bothered about that. I don't know why people get so arrogant about it. It's not like we're all sat here as, Cristiano Ronaldo or bloody Bruno Fernandes. Oh, who do you want to play for? I'm sat on my arse in my living room and you're sat in yours, I'd play for Liverpool or Man City if I got the opportunity to play football, to be honest. Do I think Calvert-Lewin's the next Harry Kane? Well, where is Calvert-Lewin? I haven't seen him play for ages. Yes, 0-0 in Man United against Brentford. I just couldn't be asked to do the watch-along tonight. Man City could get a lot of goals here tonight. A lot of goals tonight. But that's infuriating. Only if you're a Leeds fan, but that is absolutely infuriating. To concede a goal like that against Man City in the first 10 minutes is just crap. Was it Dallas as well who made the mistake? We've spoken about Grealish being a flop. You should turn up early, and then you might get involved in the chat. If the Brighton game goes ahead, what's your score prediction? I'm not doing that MUFC. There's no point. I don't even want to think that the Brighton game's going ahead yet. It was Dallas. Dun, 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 dun. Please subscribe, by the way. We're trying to get up to 600k before Christmas. We can do it. I think we're on 597, 500. We're doing West Ham Arsenal tomorrow night. Leeds Arsenal on Saturday, and then Liverpool Spurs on Sunday. So 4 watch-alongs to come. Hi Mark, do you think United should focus more on the Champions League or Premier League this season? Both. Both. You know what? Since when does a football club just focus on? There we go. Another 50-50 lost by Leeds. They're absolutely shit. I've never seen a team so crap. They're awful. Who has more fans, City or Leeds? Says Asta. I don't know whether Leeds could fill a 60,000 capacity stadium either. You know, that's the problem with Man City. Man City have got fans. Like when they got relegated to League One, they were getting like 30,000 at Main Road. So they have got fans. They just can't fill that stadium. That's the problem. And yeah. Man City are going to be too good for Leeds anyway. You're right. But they're going to be way too good for Leeds if Leeds can't bloody defend. And they can't defend. And Man City will... it's 2-0. Grealish. This is going to be an absolute pounding. Yeah. It should be 3-0. It's 2-0 and we've had 12 minutes. This reminds me of Manchester United against Leeds. Just white flag football. But Grealish gets on the end of this. Let's just watch it back. De Bruyne. Mahrez. Yeah, they're queuing up. They're absolutely queuing up. I mean, there's 2 Man City players who could have headed this. Laporte and then Grealish. So, just absolutely shit defending. Awful. Awful defending. Could be 6-0. Grealish scored from the header. Mahrez with the cross. 7 Premier League wins in a row. I am worried about Leeds because... I'm not worried about Leeds. I'm worried about Man City because this happened last year. They got top just after Christmas and no one could go with them. And I think the same thing could happen again. They're looking just too good again. I mean, if you look at Man City's fixtures, I mean... They've got Newcastle on Sunday. That's 3 points. Then they've got Leicester at home. Another 3 points. Brentford away. You'd fancy that to be 3 points. Arsenal, 3 points. I mean, their next difficult game is Chelsea. That's at home. I get worried about Man City in this form because I just don't... I think they're capable of just going on and on and on and winning and winning and winning and winning. They're just too good. I predicted on this channel in August that Man City would win the league. A lot of people were going Chelsea, Liverpool. I just think Man City are just too relentlessly good. Leeds have 6 injuries. They've got no spine, says ZXC. Yeah, well, Leeds season this season is not about anything other than survival, is it? Really, if you look at Leeds in the Premier League, their current situation, they're not as low as I thought, but they are 15th, and they're only they're 5 points off relegation, but it's 0-0 Norwich and Villa. Big game, Norwich Villa as well, isn't it? Because it's Dean Smith against Gerrard. Might be more of an interesting game, to be honest. Apart from Norwich couldn't hit the bloody ocean from a boat. When are you going to play the United Stand career mode, says Azama? Definitely at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Definitely at 3 o'clock tomorrow. The reason I didn't do it at 3 o'clock today is because I was filming something that I needed to get done this week, which was Goldbridge cooks Christmas dinner. So I've actually had a Christmas dinner tonight because I've been cooking my Christmas dinner to film for Cooking with Goldbridge. If you check out my Instagram, you'll see a picture from me doing it on at Goldbridge Mark. So I've had a very nice dinner tonight, Christmas dinner, which I'm always welcome to get a couple of each year. So turn that down, please. Bloody hell. Grealish isn't a flop now because he scored. Chelsea will lose Mane, Salah, Matip and Keita to AFCON. Well, no, Liverpool will lose those players, not Chelsea. They never had them in the first place. The assists for both... Well, the assists for the Foden goal, I think there won't be an assist on that. But the assist for the Grealish goal was Mahrez, wasn't it? With the cross. Warren, you really about 10 minutes too late with your Man United score joke. I mean, I've been trying to ignore you, Warren, but I just felt like I had to sort of save you, really, because that joke was funny about 10 minutes ago. What's the score in the United game? But we've done the jokes and moved on to reality. Favourite current film, Amran? I tell you what, I've been to the cinema a lot recently. I didn't mind the latest James Bond film. Dune was good. House of Gucci I actually quite enjoyed. Lovely run by Grealish. He's playing well tonight, Grealish, you know. He is playing well. I think City will give anybody a game at the moment. What's your thoughts on the F1, Joe? I don't know. Are Mercedes going to appeal it or not? I hope they do. I think it was a disgrace, but you know, I just don't feel like. I don't think like Verstappen will give a shit, but it just doesn't. It just even a few days later, it doesn't feel great. Leicester versus Spurs and Arsenal versus West Ham. Watchalong, says Govand. Let me have a look at the fixtures. I know I'm doing West Ham. I know I'm doing West Ham tomorrow night. Arsenal West Ham at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Yeah, 4 games tomorrow: Brighton Wolves, Burnley Watford, Crystal Palace Southampton, and Arsenal West Ham. And then Thursday night you got Liverpool Newcastle, Chelsea Everton, and Leicester Tottenham, which I don't think I'm doing watch-alongs for because I think I'm out for Christmas drinks on Thursday night. You're welcome to join me if you know where I am. And then yeah, Saturday, lots of games. I bet Arsenal won't be looking forward to playing Leeds. It's the sort of game Arsenal would mess up, but you'd look at it and go, oh, they'll be fine. I haven't seen West Side Story, Mark. Don't think anybody did, but had a bad opening weekend. There was one major absentee from my Christmas dinner, which you'll see when I do the video. Goal for Aston Villa, Jacob Ramsey, 1-0. Yeah, Donnie Brasco's a great film, Andrew T. I watched it the other day. It was on, probably on, I can't remember what it was on. I love my sprouts with pancetta and onions. I like it with the pancetta, Alex Prentice. Why is Salah underappreciated? See loads of tweet calling him overrated. You won't see me underrating him. I actually rate Mo Salah. As much as I don't want to, I do rate him. I think, to me, he's the best player in the Premier League. How's there a Man United game on? There isn't. Wave art. Do you think Ronaldo will win another Champions League, says Rishav? I think the chances are probably more that he won't, but I wouldn't say he's not going to win one. I think, I'm not being disrespectful to United because I support United, but I think I'd actually say his chances of winning the Champions League are probably the same as they were when he went to Juventus. So it's not an age thing. I think it's more the team he's at. So I'll probably agree with Imanchi there, saying 50-50. Yeah. Nice little layoff by Grealish. Man City, we've had 20 minutes. They're 2-0 up. It really could be anything. Bernardo Silva, great play. Lovely cross. No one reads it. But they come again. And they win a free kick. Leeds there. How is Rafa Benitez still the manager of Everton? Like, how is he still the manager of Everton? I don't get that. I just seen somebody mention it there. Premier League top 3, says Jammy. Jam. Well, it's Man City, Liverpool and Chelsea. Everton are playing on Thursday night, and they're playing Chelsea, where they'll get beat. I don't understand how he's still the manager. Their form is bloody ridiculous. They've won 1 in their last 5. I think they've lost most of their games, and I think Richarlison's now out injured for a long time. I mean, I don't get it. Do you know what Aubameyang did? I don't know what he did. I think he was late back, wasn't he? But you know this Ollie to Everton thing. You know why I don't really talk about it? Because I know it's a big load of bullshit, and I think you're an idiot if you're falling for it. Man City have had 94% possession in the last 5 minutes. It's like a training ground exercise. Favourites to win the Champions League probably is Man City. I don't think they will win it, but I'd say they're favourites to win it. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will get a job again in the Premier League. Are you going to watch the new Spider-Man movie, Mark? Says Cameron. Probably not. Christmas. It's Christmas. Christmas isn't really the time for me to go and watch films. I'm normally quite busy, so I'd be more likely to have gone and watched that a month ago than I would watch it over Christmas. There's some bloody good series coming out over Christmas, though. Looking forward to The Witcher on Netflix, Cobra Kai, Boba Fett. I think we're being spoilt this year because you don't normally get loads of new series over Christmas. Afterlife comes out in the middle of Jan. So we've got some good TV. But I'd quite like to watch that Kingsman film as well, but I won't watch it because it comes out over Christmas. I will go and watch the new Batman because that's out at a better time. Peaky Blinders is coming out soon as well. Neymar documentary, I'm not interested in that. I've got no interest in Neymar's documentary. Loads of people are talking about it. Afterlife is very good. If you've never seen it, do give it a watch. I don't think I'd watch Wrath of Man, Dylan Johns, because I just can't stand Jason Statham as an actor. I just don't find him hard. I think he's meant to be a big hard man, isn't he? But if you remember what he was like in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, he was a bit of a joke in that. So I just don't rate him. He's a Poundland Sylvester Stallone. Matrix looks all right, yeah. Turn it down, please. Bloody hell, that's twice we've done that tonight. Jason Statham is a B-Tech. Phil Mitchell, says Manny. Wouldn't disagree with that. Leeds have done well because they haven't conceded for 10 minutes. I agree. Oh, they're on the attack here. Dan James. He can't cross. And he still can't cross. Couldn't cross his legs, that lad. Nice run by Foden. If he'd have got the cross back there, I think John Stones would have had a tap in. I haven't had a Subway in ages, Prem. He's asking me what my favourite vegetables and everything are. I haven't had a Subway in a very long time, so I couldn't really tell you. Oh. Ah. My hand. Oh, it's still hurting. Oh. It's my hand. I've got one of these things and I use it and I've really hurt my hand, and it's like I'm just trying to give it a bit of physio and it's really hurting. How have I hurt my hand? Not from anything like that. Mark, can you do a video of you eating a Christmas dinner in a can? It's disgusting. It just makes me want to throw up even just saying that. ZX. Really does. Makes me want to throw up. That's not a vibrator. God, you wouldn't want that to be a vibrator, would you? I suppose it could be a double one. Hi Mark, what's your fantasy team like? I've given up. I can't be arsed with that fantasy football anymore. What do you think? Why do you think there's a rise in players having chest pain issues during games? Napoli player had an issue the day after Lindelof, or coincidence, says Sebastian. I mean, I tell you what. All I'd say is you got the wrong channel. I'm not interested in COVID conspiracies because I know where you're going with that. And as I've said before, we've had footballers die and get seriously ill with chest conditions way before we had the vaccine, so I'm not really interested in those sort of conspiracies. Foden, De Bruyne, good shot, good save. Players have been overplayed, Jack. I mean, look, you know, as much as some people might think there's a reason for it, here's a reason for it off the top of my head. Is football more intense than it was 5 years ago? Are fitness levels higher? Is the demand on players even more? You know, is there a game that's more demanding? Is there a sport? Here's a question for you. Mark sings Salah running down the wing. Yeah, I'm not going to do that, Joshy. Verstappen confirmed world champion Mercedes protests were turned down. What are you on about, Christian? And is there a sport in the world that's more physically demanding? Goal, surely goal. No, keeper's got it for Leeds. Is there a sport that's more physically demanding in the world than football? And if there isn't, then if football keeps getting quicker and more intense, could it becoming too demanding for players? Now, I like this because rowing has been mentioned, tennis has been mentioned, UFC has been mentioned, rugby has been mentioned, but I don't know. I don't have the evidence. I don't know. But what I would say is, you don't play rugby 3 times a week every month. You do football. Tennis is difficult. Now, they're looking at a penalty decision here for a handball for Leeds. Just give it to make it a decent game. No penalty. Oh, that's a shame. I think rugby's more intense, but they don't play as often, do they? Snooker. Definitely snooker. Darts. Formula 1 is bloody ridiculous. Ridiculous. The intensity you put on your body there. Who scored the goals, Mark? Grealish and Foden. Or Foden and Grealish in order. NBA is intense, Manu. You're absolutely right. But then again, NBA play on a smaller pitch. Court. I'd say rugby's very intense, but they only play they don't play 3 times a week. Gaelic football or hurling, Mark. It's not don't take the game, just think about how regularly they play the game as well. That's got to be taken into account, Alex. Who do you think will end up getting relegated this season? Yeah, get in the chat 3 teams that you think will get relegated this season. To be honest with you, I'm almost having to refresh because I was saying Norwich and I said Norwich, Watford and Brentford. And at the moment, Brentford are looking pretty good to staying up. So Brentford probably be okay. So I would probably say Norwich, Newcastle and Watford. Newcastle's only hope of staying up is that there's 3 other teams shitter than them, because Newcastle should not be getting out of trouble, but it's not like they've been cut adrift yet, so they might be alright. But 10 points from 16 games is terrible. Norwich are on 10 points from 17 games. Oh, what a goal that is by De Bruyne. It's just too good. They're too good. Lovely goal by De Bruyne, 3-0. Bielsa looks to the floor. It's like he's having a big poo. And it's 3-0 to Leeds. I didn't see the build-up in this because I was too busy reading the chat. But I did see the finish. And it was very, very good from De Bruyne. It's lovely play. Keeper shouldn't get beat there. Front post glitch. No, keeper should not get beat from there. Yeah, it's a lovely goal. But you know what? He shouldn't get beat. He should not be getting beat on his front post like that. Give De Bruyne the credit, but that's a front post glitch. You're fuming there. Cover your front post as a keeper. That's a keeping error. 100%. Should not get beat on his front post there. I'm very worried about Southampton this season. I think they could get dragged in, lose so many points from winning positions. It makes me sad, says Jude. I think Southampton are too good to go down. And if your son was a huge football talent and I know Liverpool was interested in, would you let him go there? Yes. 100% the big. Fighting sports are more intense. That's why UFC fighters' friends will hardly fight more than 3 or 4 times a year. Yeah, but Mr. Major actually spot on. But I'm talking about intense in relation to, how often you do it as well. City just shitting on everybody, says Azia. They're too good. They're too good. Mark, please, I'll sing the Salah song with you. I'm not singing a Salah song, Joshy. It's not going to happen. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Everyone's welcome on That's Football. And we are on That's Football. (3-0), 33 minutes gone. Jack says it's fantastic football from Manchester City. I think the keeper should have done better on the 3rd goal. You should never get beat on your front post. But please subscribe, by the way. We're trying to get up to 600,000 before Christmas. We're currently on 597,600. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with That's Football. Everybody's welcome on here. Doesn't matter who you support. I think Rodri got the assist on the goal. I think it looked like it was Rodri who slipped him in. It was a good pass. But De Bruyne back and raring to go. And God, I mean, you've got De Bruyne in your team. You're absolutely laughing. Cricket is mentally tough, says Oliver. Solihull 0-0 at half-time. Thank you, George. What about people who do these week-long extreme camping excursions? They're intense, says Luke Jones. Ba-dum-dum. Trippier's apparently going to Newcastle. Good. Who do you think will win the Snooker World Grand Prix, says Joel Morris? I don't know. I don't know who's still in it. I'm not very impressed with the snooker season this year, actually. The UK Championship didn't feel very festive this year. I always get quite excited about that one, but it seemed a bit early. Because we've had the UK and now we've had the Scottish and now we've got the Grand Prix. Get a Christmas tree up and make it feel like that. I didn't trump, no. Mark, I hate to say City reminds me of United under Fergie. They win games before they even play the games. Teams are simply terrified of playing City, says YUFC. Yeah. I do watch the darts, but I'm just so busy. And I don't mean busy in a work sense. Like Christmas is always quite a traditional time, isn't it? I don't really have time to sit and watch the darts. Second test tomorrow at 3 a.m. At least if we do get games cancelled, thanks Man United, there's plenty of other sports to watch. Do I like Bailey's? I like it in a bit of coffee, yeah. Another injury for Leeds here. Yeah, he's just rubbing the back of his ankle. Oh, I need to come off. Yeah, I bet you do. What about Sporting Wolves? That must be difficult. They're in 10th, says Luke Jones. Rodri is an incredible player, full stop. The Chaz man. Muscles is drinking Bailey's right now. Being an Arsenal fan is an intense sport, says Paul. Looking forward to West Ham Arsenal tomorrow night, actually. We were doing a watch along for that on this channel, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it because it's at the Emirates, so Arsenal would expect to win that. But West Ham have been very, very good this season. It's a shame that we didn't get to play Brentford, actually, because if we'd beaten Brentford, we would have been above West Ham. But, yeah, if Arsenal win, they can leapfrog us and West Ham and go into 4th place. So big game Arsenal against West Ham tomorrow. We'll be live on this channel with it, so make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. And then Spurs on Thursday night, they've got an opportunity to move above United as well if they win. So 2 bites of the cherry. Tottenham against Leicester, but Leicester, if they were to win, they could go above Arsenal, Spurs. Leicester with a good, it changes around very quick apart from the top 3. Ooh, I'm blinded by the light. Leeds getting a lot of injuries at the moment. Oh yeah, he's hobbling off now. Look, you're being sub now. You don't need to keep faking it. It's like when you get a day off school. You put your head against the radiator. You go into your parents, you say, I've got a really bad temperature. They feel it and go, okay, you're off now. You don't need to keep putting your head against the radiator. You're off. As soon as the school bus is gone, they ain't taking you to school. Yes, I did used to do that. It's not worth it. I think school days are the best days of your life. Go to school and enjoy it. I used to get, this always makes my kids laugh actually, I used to get the week off before school, before Christmas. Like when you break up for Christmas, like a lot of people are breaking up this week and then you've got the whole week off before. I used to get 2 weeks off before Christmas because the last week at school I'd always say, oh, if you let me have an extra week off, I'll tidy up all the house and clean all the cupboards out for Christmas. And they always used to fall for it. No wonder I did shit in the GCSEs. City are so good that their matches are boring and dull, says Alpha Kenny. Well, they might be boring and bull, boring and bull and boring and dull. But we've got a great watch along and a great chat going on. Spurs have got 2 games in hand. They have. What's the best part of a Christmas dinner? Yes, these are the sort of questions we want to ask when we're watching a game like this. My favourite part of the Christmas dinner is the stuffing. Now I do like a good stuffing. I do. I have my own recipe, which is hazelnut and apricot stuffing, which I've refined to brilliance. The one I made today was magnifique, and you'll be able to see it on Goldbridge Cooks Christmas Dinner later this week. Pigs in blankets are very nice, Smazzy. I've had a few pigs in blankets in my time. But I was saying this on the video today. The reason the Great British Bake Off does so well is because food has got so many sexual innuendos, hasn't it? De Bruyne scored the third goal, Mustafa. Yorkshire puddings on a Christmas dinner. This, to me, is never happened, but apparently it's quite common the further north you go. Once you, basically, if you wanted to find out who puts a Yorkshire pudding on their Christmas dinner in the UK, if you did a random 10 house check in London, nobody. If you went up to like the Midlands, nobody. As soon as you started going to Stoke, you'd start to get 1 or 2 out of 10. I think once you hit Leeds or Yorkshire, they're all doing it. But I love a Yorkshire pudding, I really do. But I've never had it on a Christmas dinner. Is Christmas without snow the same? Says Alpha. Oh, just shoots wide there, Foden, just wide. No, I don't really remember snow at Christmas. Mark, where does Mark like to go on holiday? Mallorca, Christos. That's my place. That is my place. Yorkshire puddings are the best part of Christmas dinner, says Louise, and I'm from Devon. We love them down south, says Barnaby. See, another sexual innuendo. George says he loves them, but he wouldn't be allowed to put them on a Christmas dinner. When can we expect your Premier League FIFA career show, says Billy? I'm tempted to do it tonight at 11 o'clock, but I'm also very tired, so I think that would be a bad idea. I think I'm just going to start it tomorrow at like 3 o'clock. That's what I'm going to do. Because the night streams are good, but not as many people will watch it as they would at 3 o'clock tomorrow, so I'm going to do it at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Roast potatoes are my favourite. They've got to be done properly, Owen. Have to be done properly. Nothing on the Brighton game at the moment, Spencer. I mean, I'm not going to knock having Yorkshire pudding on your Christmas dinner, because at the end of the day, I will put Norwich versus Villa on after half time, because they're not at half time. I like pineapple on a pizza, so I can't moan about that. Points versus games in hand. Which do you prefer, says Alex? Points on the board, please. I will be playing Red Dead Redemption again. Yes, Jeremy. I will definitely be playing that again. Surprised there's no championship games tonight. They seem to play every bloody game. Not tonight. Not tonight. It's like they're having quite a lot of time off, actually. They're not playing next one as well. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the COVID and the whole Premier League, because there's a lot of other games being played absolutely fine, isn't there? You know, with far less investment. Leeds are on the attack here. Go on, Leeds. Go on, Leeds. Firpo. Crap. Oh, they're so rubbish. They're so rubbish. They couldn't score in a brothel. There are three Spider-Men in No Way Home. Cheers, says Alpha Kenny. Hi, Mark. Thoughts on turkey? Any preferred cooking methods, styles, flavours, and favourite side dishes in general, says Akil. And wrapping presents with family, can Goldbridge say hello to Margaret and Nicola? Not happy birthday. Hello to Margaret and Nicola. What a lovely thing to be doing. Wrapping presents whilst chilling out. I always like to do that, but I'm always so bloody busy. I tell you what, though, I did wrap a lot of presents on Sunday whilst watching the aftermath of the Formula One. I quite enjoyed that. I understand why people like podcasts and things like the United Stand and this, because I absolutely love just sitting and listening to people talking about something I'm interested in with lots of different opinions. And I think it's the first time in my life I've actually understood why people watch like the United Stand or this, because I was just wrapping my presents up, listening to 4 or 5 people with different opinions on what had happened in that Formula One race, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, a little bit of a glimpse into the thing I do, I suppose, really. Man City on the attack here with Foden. Now De Bruyne. Ooh, shoots over the bar. Best and worst Christmas presents, Paul. Well, I'd like some of you, it's not always about me. I do going with Goldbridge, driving with Goldbridge, and I tell you stories all the time. So I'd like to know what some of your best and worst Christmas presents are, and we can definitely read those out. We're nearly at half time here. I'm going to turn Villa and Norwich on as soon as it's half time, so we can just continue the chat without having to have a half time debate. Hi Mark, can you please shout out my mate's snap, Will Andrews, for all the girls, much appreciated, keep up the good work, says Harry. Thank you very much. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. Please do subscribe. Trying to get to 600,000 subscribers before Christmas. We can do it. If we do all the watch-alongs we're planning to do, we can do it. But please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and share video. Leeds are on the attack again, but it's headed away. Will Leeds score a goal? I predicted it'd be 3-0 to Man City. I didn't predict it at half-time. My sister got me a cardboard box one year. I mean, I've always been a bit of a joker. You might have seen that before, but I've done a few things for Christmas that are quite funny. I've done the cardboard box thing, but I just thought it'd be funny to wrap a present up for my sister. She's always had crap presents from me. There was the one year which I told you on driving with Goldbridge where I was down the pub all Christmas Eve, and when I got back I hadn't wrapped my presents, so I got her to help me wrap them, and she basically wrapped her own presents up. And there was another year where she'd bought me some presents, so I've just basically wrapped up some books that I'd hardly used. The only problem is when she opened up the book and looked inside, it said, to Brent, have a great Christmas, 1989, and it was 1992. So that was that. And then another time, which was purposely done as a joke, was Lovely Cross, cleared away by Leeds. I just got like a shoebox and I filled it up with crisps, but not crisps in the packet, like empty. I just emptied them all in it. And I did it about 2 weeks before Christmas, so they'd gone stale. But she couldn't figure it. You know, when you put it under the tree, she was like, it had quite a bit of weight in it. She was like, oh, what is it? It's like, what is it? She was really excited about it. And then she opened it up and it was like an old shoebox full of manky crisps. Hello, Goldbridge. Had a roller coaster of a year getting my bachelor's in cybersecurity and tweak management. Madrid. My dad passing away earlier this year, says Joseph Cole. 2022 we go. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Joseph. And but well done on your bachelor's, and yes, we go again in 2022. Lewis Tag says, just got off my shift, why aren't United playing, what the hell's going on? Somebody Slow Sports News with Lewis Tag. Half time, Manchester United 0, Brentford 0. There's nobody here, the lights are off, I can't see anything, but there's no goals. Thoughts on United, Athletic, PSG, Madrid predictions, says Zubi. Well, hold on a minute, I'm just going to change the screen because it's half time. It's 3-0 to Manchester City. We're having a great chat. We're not getting a great game, unfortunately, but we are going to change the channel, and we're going to I could almost bloody put my FIFA career mode on, couldn't I? We're going to put on the Villa game because they're playing and they kicked off a little bit earlier, so they're actually just kicking off for half time now. Because they've had their half-time. I don't know how that works. Didn't Villa kick off at... That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Somebody make it make sense. How can it be the kicker off the second half? That doesn't make any sense. If they kicked off at 7:30, the second half should have kicked off at 8:30. That don't make sense to me. Villa kicked off at 7:45. Oh, I thought they kicked off at... Oh, it was Man United. It was Man United who was meant to kick off at 7:30. Tomorrow's games are Brighton and Wolves at 7:30, Burnley and Watford at 7:30, Crystal Palace and Southampton at 7:30, but Arsenal and West Ham at 8 o'clock, which is the game we will be doing a watch along for you with. So make sure you tune in for that. Looking forward to Arsenal against West Ham tomorrow. A draw would be nice. No corona outbreaks with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's a better manager, says Philip Mangan. And so Norwich are losing 1-0 to Aston Villa at Carrow Road. Carrow Road always makes me think of Jeremy Goss and Brian Gunn. Rule Fox. Tonight. No, I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do FIFA Career Mode tonight. I'm going to do it tomorrow at 3 o'clock because it's the first one of the Premier League. So I don't want it to not be done at the normal time. So we will do it tomorrow at 3 o'clock on Goldbridge TV. I've dropped the link in the video description. Give me a follow. That's where it's going to be. Aaron says, with the expected departures, I'm excited for the winter transfer window. By next season, we should have a new look United with players and tactics. Aaron's excited. Well done, Aaron. You know, we're talking about the cinema, actually. I must just say this. Cinema etiquette. Where do you sit on cinema etiquette? Because I did something, not last time we were at the cinema, the time before. And the great thing about the cinema is it's dark. And, you know, if I was in a pub, I wouldn't have done this because people would be able to see where I was. But in the cinema, they didn't know. And basically, it's making me laugh thinking about it. So the film... I mean, the timing was terrible for this person anyway, but basically the film had literally it was doing all the trailers were going on right, but I knew the film was about to start at any moment. So the trailers are on, and this old dear, I mean, I say old, she could have been anywhere between the age of 60 and 70. She's about 4 rows below us and gets up at the end of the trailer to go and watch the film. And as she's walking down the steps, it flashes up on the screen. You know, before the film starts, it will say James Bond, No Time to Die, 18, and you know it's about to start. So she starts walking down. That comes on for the film, and then she stops and goes, "Oh," and starts to come back. And then, as she starts to come back, she trips and falls down the steps. And I just went, "Ah!" because obviously I'm in the dark and no one can hear. I mean, I didn't laugh instantly. I didn't laugh instantly because it could have been a fatal trip. There's staggering stats about old people dying. Like, when I was a kid, I used to think people just died of falling over because my great grandma, when I vaguely remember her, she died when I was about 3 or 4, and when I asked why she died, she fell over and went into hospital and died. And I just used to think people died from falling over when they're older. So it's always been, if I see an old person fall over, I do wonder, is that the final nail? But the fall was a comedy fall at the end of the day. And I did just laugh because it was in the dark and no one knew where I was. Spider-Man No Way Home watch along, says Vic. I don't know how I would do that when it's in the cinema. Never thought I'd fall in love with Man City as a Man United fan, but they play such beautiful football. You're not a Manchester United fan, Davin, if you're falling in love with Manchester City. But I've got the Aston Villa game on. It's 1-0. Brendan Williams just took a free kick. Are you planning to go? I don't know what that is, man, so I'm not going to read it out. And she got back up anyway. Thanks for that, Messi. He says your James Bond review was very good. I do like doing film reviews. I do like doing film reviews. But yeah, the cinema. I said this when I was driving to Goldbridge the other day. On driving to Goldbridge, like I was watching The House of Gucci, and there was these 2 girls on the same road as me and the wife, and they were halfway down, and like. They just seemed to eat for an hour, and it was just bloody irritating, to be honest with you. Like, there is an etiquette. Other people are actually in the cinema, like, you know, get your food out quick. But manners are, you know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Manners, some people have them, some people don't. I'm not excited for Superman, no. Spider-Man, no. It's not really my sort of thing. Hi, Mark. Would you recommend bringing the show binging the show Succession. I think you'd like it. This is Michael Kennedy. I hate Cineworld. I'd rather go to Odeon. Says Billy Brooks. And Mark, favourite film from the Dark Knight trilogy. I like them all, really. I like the whole trilogy. And Why Him is a good adult Christmas movie, says Paul Lucas. Will you be doing a Christmas party on Twitch? Well, I was thinking about doing a Christmas party, but I feel after all the Boris Johnson controversy, I just can't be doing with any of that. True story, Kevin Hart, Wesley Snipes, well worth a watch, buddy, says Muzzy Lions. I haven't... I'm running out of time. I did this last year, and I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but I've done it again. I don't know how I've managed to do it again, but I've done it again. Every year I like to watch certain things at Christmas. Like I like to watch the Father Ted Christmas special, Die Hard. I always watch the Gavin and Stacey one for some reason. It just makes me laugh. The Only Fools and Horses one. And I am running out of time quickly because, time is running out. And I won't get to watch them all again. And this same thing happened last year. So... Die Hard's a good shout. I love Die Hard. No spoilers, please. If you haven't seen Die Hard by now, you deserve spoilers. Definitely a Christmas film as well. Mulled wine or a snowball? I love mulled wine, Sebastian. I bloody love it. Oh, please subscribe, everyone. We're getting closer to 598,000. We're only 300 away. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. You're very welcome on That's Football. Everybody's welcome. You should have a Christmas tree on here like you do on the United Stand. Yeah, we do. We're a little bit more professional on That's Football. Breen's never seen Die Hard. Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie. Well, it is, because I said it is. I'm not a big fan of Bad Santa. I tried to watch it and I didn't like it. Merry Christmas to all, says Mohammed. Favourite part of a Christmas dinner? I've already done that! Good volley by Targay, the best French left-back in the Premier League. Underrated. And he volleys it off his right foot just wide. I like a huge bag of popcorn, Mark, says Dale. I'll take as long as I want to eat it. The cinema is loud enough. Come on, don't be Mardy. I tell you what, Dale, if you were in my cinema eating a big bag of popcorn loudly, all you'd hear is tut from me. I'd be going... tut and deep breaths, that's all you'd hear. Banana on pizza, no. Pineapple on pizza, yes. Banana on pizza makes me want to throw up. But then makes me understand what people might think about pineapple on pizza. So now it's a bit of a head mess. Christmas pudding or custard? Christmas pudding and custard. That's what I would say. I like a bit of Christmas pudding. I actually, Christmas pudding is one of those things that people almost feel like they're forced to eat. When I was out with the missus on Saturday, we went to a restaurant and they had Christmas pudding on the dessert menu. And I turned down sticky toffee pudding to have Christmas pudding and custard. I like Christmas pudding. Sue me. Sue me. Favourite Scorsese film, Mark, says Papa. Favourite Scorsese film? I'd say probably Departed. I love it. I bloody love Departed, I do. Norwich really could play till Christmas next year and not score a goal. They're good. This Villa-Norwich game reminds me a lot of the Man United game. But could be a red card here. Could be a red. No, it's a yellow card. It's a bit late on Mings. But yeah, Norwich full of endeavour, but got nothing up front. I think that might want to have a review of that. I'd have a review of that, to be honest. That looks like a red card to me. Departed is underrated and underwatched. I mean, it's not a Christmas film, so I wouldn't watch it. I tell you what's. Remind me. That should be a red card review. That for Byram. He's gone with his studs up. I think that was a red card review. Mark, with coaches and fans being obsessed with McTominay, what sort of player do you think they expect him to become? Scottish Busquets, maybe, says Aaron. I don't care. I'd be happy with that. You know what film I watched at Christmas, and now I watch it a lot at Christmas? It's not really a Christmas film, but it's got snow in it. The Revenant. Very good film, The Revenant. Should be a red card if you've never watched The Departed, says Nevins. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it at Christmas. I'd wait till January and give it a watch. Very good film. I went to watch it in the cinema. I sensed it was a good film, and I said I have to see this in the cinema. Well, there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. Proctor the Doctor will be back tomorrow. I'm a bit jealous of Proctor. He's becoming the star of United Stand FC. If you know, you know. But it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to the Premier League. He's got a wand of a right foot. Yeah, it is a good cast in The Departed as well. Martin Sheen, Mark Wahlberg, Alec Baldwin, DiCaprio, Damon. Very good cast. What are you going to give Seb for Christmas? Well, I'm going to tell you in case someone tells him. I mean, he is only 4. It's not like someone will be in his class tomorrow. Hey up, Seb! Yeah, what are you getting for Christmas? Yeah. I'll tell you what you're getting because I heard your dad on That's Football last night. DiCaprio is one of my favourite actors. Yeah, I don't really think he's done a bad film. Cross comes in, catch, practice for Martinez. I mean, look, you know what I would say about Villa? They're looking good for another 3 points here, and that would be for... Would that be 4 wins in his first 6 games for Gerrard? And, I mean, his losses were at Anfield and at home to Man City. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not embarrassing, is it? 4 wins from 6. Or is it 3 wins out of 5? Beat Palace, beat Brighton, lost to Man City. I think they won then after that, and they lost to Liverpool, didn't they? So I think they had 3 wins in 5, so this would be 4 in 6. Stuart says, is Die Hard a Christmas film? Discuss. Right, you can clip this, you can do what you like with it. Die Hard is a Christmas film. Do you want to know why it's a Christmas film? Because it happens on Christmas Eve. That is why it's a Christmas film. It's also got Christmas music in it. It's got jingles in it. It is a Christmas film because it is set on Christmas Eve. It is about a father and mother who have been separated because of work. And he comes back for the Christmas party so he can spend Christmas with the wife. And the kids are waiting at home. And whilst he goes to the wife's Christmas party, a bunch of badass terrorists try to take over the Yakatomi Tower. And the husband becomes a hero. And this would not have worked in June. It had to happen on Christmas Eve because he needed some Christmas magic. It is a Christmas film. It happens at Christmas. I don't know why people struggle with it. I don't know why people struggle with Die Hard being a Christmas film. It is a Christmas film. It happens at Christmas. Ashley Young's coming off and Danny Ings is coming on. It's not a spoiler, is it? I didn't tell you what happens at the end. I didn't tell you he falls off a cliff. It's the Nakatomi, not the Yakatomi. Well, sorry. Friends, Seinfeld or The Office? The Office, Aaron. Is Villa on the attack with Watkins? Barcelona just lost Boca Juniors in the Maradona Cup. Says Summerjet. I don't know whether the Leeds game has kicked off yet with Man City. It probably has done. I will stand up. Bruce Willis himself says it's not a Christmas film. Oh, wow. You know what Bruce Willis can do? Swivel on it. Oh, Bruce Willis. It's like, oh, Gary Neville says that we didn't play well at the weekend, so we didn't play well. I couldn't give a toss. I don't live my life because Bruce Willis says it's not a Christmas film. Oh, bloody hell. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis. Swivel on it, Bruce Willis. Couldn't give a toss what Bruce Willis says, to be honest. I think it's a Christmas film and that's what matters. And if you think it's a Christmas film, that's what matters. Shamone. Sunshine, Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis in the mud. He's past it anyway. He should retire and watch Bruce Willis on Die Hard. That's when he was in his prime. We're back up and running anyway. I need to turn the timer back on because the timer is the thing that guides us. I don't think we've had a minute yet. Oh, come on, man. Get the bloody timer up so we know what the timer is. Bloody hell. Come on. I don't know what the timer is because they haven't got the timer on at the moment. They've got no scoreboard or a timer on. Oh, this is rubbish. Why have they got no timer on here? Oh, BT. They're a bit of a joke, aren't they, really? I mean, I don't know whether you saw the draw on BT yesterday, but they didn't actually talk about the crookness of the draw for half an hour. Jingle All the Way is a film I haven't watched for a while. Why have they've still got the score? They've still got the score naughty timer. Slow Sports News. BT. What's the timer? What's the score? I mean, imagine if you've come in from your Christmas party in Leeds and you're like, what's the score? We're playing quite well. I missed the first half. Oh, we've got a chance here. We must be doing really well. I think we might be winning or at least drawing. Oh, they're so shit on. Leeds are so shit in both penalty areas. Awful, awful side. We still don't know how far into the half we are because they've not put the timer on the screen. Idiots. Is it only me who's not got it? Gremlins is a good Christmas film, Tracy. Thank you very much for that one. Well done. I like The Grinch, yeah. Yeah, if you're watching on BT Sports and you've got the timer and the score, can you please let us know what it is? I mean, we know it's 3-0, but I don't know what the bloody time is. Grealish rides a tackle. I think Gundogan's come on, hasn't he, for Rodri? No, Rodri's on. Mahrez, 4-0, deflected. They're just so shit. They're so shit. Well, we won't even get 4-0 because they haven't even got the bloody timer on. They're absolutely useless. Deflection off Firpo. It's 4-0 to Man City. But BT can't tell us that. I like Polar Express, Luke. My only problem with Polar Express is that I watched it on Boxing Day for the first time and it always leaves me feeling a little bit sad. $4-0. Man City. Mahrez. This is ridiculous. We're into the second half. I don't know what the timer is. Mahrez nearly makes it 5. Now De Bruyne. Good block. Trading Places is a good Christmas film, yeah. Not watched it for a while. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. I'm going to have to get up again and just change the channel and see. They've finally put it up. 49 minutes and 50 seconds. Twats. Absolute twats. Someone should be sacked for that. So I knew it was 4-0. I just didn't know how far into the second half we were. 7, 8, 9... Bang! There we go. Planes, trains and automobiles, apparently, yeah. Who do you think will do better in the Prem, Vieira or Gerrard? Says I think every Christmas episode on The Simpsons on loop on Christmas Day. How many are there, Aaron? How many are there episodes of that, Christmas episodes of The Simpsons? Free kick to Man City. They're so bad. I think Gerrard will do better than Vieira because he's got the checkbook. But I think I think Vieira has done very well. There's 33 seasons of The Simpsons, but do they do a Christmas one in every one? The only Christmas episode I can think of The Simpsons is Miracle on Evergreen Terrace, which is the very first one, which is so old graphics-wise, animation-wise. And I also remember the one where Bart comes down early with the fire engine and then burns the house down and they get loads of help. Firpo is terrible, Josh. I was just thinking that every game I've seen him play for Leeds, he's been absolutely shit. Mr. Plough's not a Christmas one. It's just got snow in it. I like the Halloween ones better, account, yeah. So free kick for Mahrez. Good save. Gundogan must have come on for Foden, I think, because Rodri's still on, De Bruyne is still on, Grealish is still on. No, I think Foden's still on. Zinchenko then. Bernardo Silva's come on for, sorry. I was trying to think who'd gone off. Hi from Toronto, says Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs. Hi, mate. I don't know why the clock's not on the screen because it is running. Sorry. There we go. Conor Gallagher looks like a fantastic player. Jacob. Oh, what a ball to Gundogan and he just taps it wide. I mean, it's 4-0 to Man City. It could be 6. Where do you stand on this? All these people... Look, I'm not going to be... It was a lovely ball by Mahrez, by the way. Mahrez has been magnificent. I think Mahrez is underrated, you know. Won a league title at Leicester. And at Man City, I think he's ridiculously underrated. I think he's such a good player who doesn't really get the headlines. But obviously, I don't go to many games because I do like watch-alongs and stuff on the United stand now. So I don't really go to anywhere near as many games as I used to. But the games I do go to, I can't understand people who are like this with their phones. I just don't understand it. I really don't. If Ronaldo had a penalty, the last thing I'm going to do is get my phone out. And yet, if you go to a game these days, people have got their phone out filming stuff that's not even a penalty. Nothing against it. It's like pineapple on pizza, isn't it? We've all got an opinion. You can't definitively say it's a bad thing, but I just, you know, if all you ever see now is when you watch a rematch of a goal or when they show the crowd, it's just loads and loads of people with that. I mean, Niall says the man who missed the United's opening goal of the season. That's not the same, is it, Niall? That's just, there's no context there. So basically, me doing the live stream, reading the live chats, and, you know, running a show is not the same as being in an actual ground going like this, filming it. There's no correlation. Which one do you prefer, The Godfather Part 1 or 2? The Part 1, thanks, Darth. Oh, what a save! Or did he hit the post? Dallas. They've had a shot. Oh, Stuart, I can't read that out. People are saying they do it for memories. Yeah, look, I hit the outside of the post, Dallas. Look, I'm not. As I said, it's like pineapple and pizza. I I don't agree with it. I do agree with pineapple on pizza, but I don't agree with going to a football match and filming it on your phone. I think that I've been going to watch football games since I was about 8 years old, and I just love the atmosphere of it, the smells. You know, you don't get the same smells anymore. When I used to go, you could smell cigars and things like that. You know, but now you probably just smell farts. But I don't think having a goal on my phone is really gonna be worth me watching my phone to film something. I'd rather watch it with my eyes and embrace things. I will play Red Dead Redemption again, but I just don't know when at the moment. I want to do Football Manager again, but it's just very busy at the moment. Oliver says it's called living in the moment. People don't understand it anymore. Mate, I'm not going to pretend and say that, you know, like my kids spend so much time on their phone. I think TikTok's so dangerous. Like, you know, I was asked that question a minute ago about which film do you prefer, Godfather 1 or 2. They're films that are well over 2.5 hours long. And I could sit and watch those films and just be enthralled by it. And the only thing that's going to break my attention is a poo or a wee. Like, but I do fear for society today and the younger generation, because I mean I don't go on TikTok, but you watch TikTok and you can watch how many different stories in half an hour? I mean, how long's a TikTok? Some of them are 30 seconds, so you can watch 60, 70 different emotions in half an hour. And that's what it is. It's short attention spans, isn't it? People can't live in the moment. They've always got to live. It's like a drug. What's next? What's next? What's next? I think it is brainwashing kids, Marvin, to be honest. But what can you do? I think it destroys creativity, even though people would say it creates creativity. But I mean, I find it hard to watch that sort of thing because it's, I suppose it's a generational thing, isn't it? I don't think if I said to my oldest, let's sit and watch Game of Thrones, she'd be interested in watching it, because it's like an hour. Oh, and then you've got to watch another one. It's like, it's a different short-term attention span for long-term attention span. Indian government banned TikTok for the same reason, says Darshan. It's a bit like a drug, says Chico. Yeah, it is. I've seen it with my oldest. She'll just lie there on her bed and she'll be like, just watching one after the other, and I'm like, watch a film. You know, I'm not even saying don't watch TV. I'm like, why don't you watch a film? You know, watch The Godfather. You know, they're just not interested in film at all. Films like, it's too long. You know, Leeds nearly scored, deflection corner. What did I used to do for fun back in the day, Sam? So there's nothing I would like more than if I had a Saturday afternoon and it was raining and there was no football on or to play or anything like that, I would just do a FIFA career mode or something like that. I'd love it. You know, that would be my afternoon. Or living room football or something like that. Or Sabutio or something like that. I don't think being like 13, 14 now would suit me on the phone, WhatsApping people, TikToks. I just don't think I would like that. What do you think of Ricky Gervais? Genius. I love him. I think he's fantastic. I think there's so much that he's done that I love. The Office. Absolutely love The Office. I think Afterlife is just genius. So. What's your favourite non-English foreign film, says Anaban? I'm going to be honest, I'm actually quite crap at watching anything with subtitles because I fall asleep. It just having to read things makes me tired. That's why I always yawn when I'm reading your stuff. Not you individually. 5-0. It's just too easy. Oh no, he's offside. Is Foden offside? Yeah, he's offside. Nearly 5-0. Well, I don't know where the offside is. Well, that's probably offside on Foden, isn't it? I think the pass is slightly forward. Yeah. It might not be, you know. We know, why aren't they showing us the line? I think he's on. No, he's not. Leeds are going down. That's 5-0 now. De Bruyne. Bloody hell. I didn't even see that. I was looking at the chat. Oh, tell me off. What a hit by De Bruyne. Absolute fantastic. I haven't seen it yet. I just see it hit the back of the net. Oh, that's magnificent. Watch it back. Terrible goal kick. What are they doing? They just gift up possession. Grealish, Gundogan, De Bruyne. Oh, keeper again. Again, I think the keeper should do better. Or can he do better? I need to see it from behind. Give us it from behind. Here we go. From behind. Nah, he's not quick enough. He's hit it too hard. Too hard. 5-0. Well, whoever said 8-0, it could be. Still 1-0 to Villa, by the way. If Villa win this game today, they go up to 9th place with 22 points. And they'd only be 6 behind West Ham in 4th. Spurs are in a good position, aren't they? 25 points with 2 games in hand. Oh, God. Some Man City fans are doing the Poznan. I think it's such a wanker celebration. Do you? Do you like the Poznan? I think it's a bloody stupid celebration, I do. It's not even theirs. They nicked it from somewhere else. Poznan, probably. What's your favourite James Bond movie, says Darth? Oh, it's difficult. Difficult. I do like Casino Royale. Do you go to the game if Man United is playing Champions League final, says David? I don't know. Favourite chocolate topic? I haven't seen one in a while, but I do like them. They used to be in celebrations. Very nice. Skyfall's quite good, yeah. Their Leeds are crap. I mean, United, we normally smash them, so what's Man City going to do? Did you ever play hurling or Gaelic football? No, Dane. That, to me, would have been a step too far. As an English guy turning up to play hurling or Gaelic football, I think I might have got hurt. So, no. I do like a ripple. Galaxy ripple. The texture is very nice. You know the game's gone when we're on about chips, crisps and chocolate. Mate, we were talking about Christmas dinners in the first half. This game's been gone for a long time. It's just a nice old chat. Got on. This is a conversation I do like from Stuart. He says, what's your favourite quality street? Let's take a walk down the quality street. My favourite quality street has changed over the years. I actually used to like the strawberry one. I don't know why. I don't really like it now. Then I used to like the toffee finger, which is toffee penny. I used to quite like that. I think as I get older, and I actually had a bit of toffee about 3 years ago, and a tooth came out with it, so I don't like toffee anymore. The purple one's quite nice. I also like. I tell you what, my favourite one is probably. I don't know what it's called. It's the green one, but it's not the green triangle. It's the hard chocolate green one. I like that one. Yeah, I do. I like that one. Rashford doing a £10 Christmas dinner to get some PR after being awful. Man needs to be judged on merit above all noise, says Sachin. I don't know whether that's fair. I mean, Rashford's going to keep doing charity work, isn't he? He's not going to stop now he's had his award. He's going to keep doing it because he wants to do it. So, praline one is the green triangle, isn't it? Favourite celebration, probably the Malteser. Favourite pot noodle and super noodle. I haven't had one in ages, Cade. I couldn't really give an answer on that. Who's your top Dutch Man United player? Says Darth. I mean, look, there's been a few in my lifetime. Stam, Van Nistelrooy. I really did like Van Persie for that 1 year. I know it was only 1 year, but Van Persie for that year was just... Oh, it was just unbelievable for that year. It's hard. I mean, I think most people would probably say Van Nistelrooy, but I did really like Van Persie for that year. And I know it shouldn't. I shouldn't be taking somebody based on a year, but Van der Sar as well. Yeah, but I did like Van Persie for that year. I can't lie. All up in my pussy. Favourite Disney movie? Not really into it. Oh, he's changing his battery now. He's changing his battery. Oh, Mike Dean's been on holiday, hasn't he? He's got a right tan on the back of his neck. Have you ever been to the US? No, I haven't, Cesar. It's somewhere I want to go. Marshall says, please donate about the FIFA career, please. I've said about the FIFA career mode. I was thinking about doing it at 11 o'clock tonight, but being as it's the first stream of the career mode, I'm going to do it at 3 o'clock tomorrow because I want it, it's the first stream of the second season and we're in the Premier League. I want it to be I want it to get the attention it deserves. So 3 o'clock tomorrow will be the first episode. Do you find City boring to watch? Says Amit. Yeah. I do when they're playing teams like this. I don't mind watching Man City play Liverpool or Chelsea because they're good enough to give them a game. I don't mind watching Man City play in the Champions League as well. But a lot of the teams they play in the Premier League just can't deal with it. I mean, look at this. Absolutely shit. They just don't know how to attack Leeds. They're so crap. They've had opportunities to get a good shot on goal. They're just rubbish. I don't know who the two commentators are because I don't listen, Mushy. Oh, Mahrez went front post again. Dan James has only had 13 touches in 45 minutes, says Nate. And Mark, come to Chicago. We'll have a lot. We'll have a hot dog and deep dish pizza and watch the United Irish pub with MUFC Chicago, says Bryce. Sounds good. Next watch along is tomorrow, George. West Ham against Arsenal on this channel. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get up to 600k for Christmas. We are currently on... We're 200 away from 598,000. So bottom right hand corner, please subscribe, get involved. I've enjoyed all the little chats we've had tonight. The game's not been as entertaining as I would have liked it to be, but it's been a good chat room. So thank you very much to everyone who's got involved. I'm so excited to see where Ranić can take us as Whiskey. And What's your favourite choice assorted biscuits? Die Hard is definitely worth a watch. I've never watched Fast and Furious MK, so I can't really comment on the franchise. Wasn't my sort of thing. Why didn't you shoot there? Bloody twat. And Man City breakaway again. Where's Bamford then? Is he injured? Matthew Turner, thanks for the super chat. Who do you think the next Arsenal captain will be, says Connor? Well, I did a video on the channel earlier about the Aubameyang thing, and I've got to say, I personally think it's a manager doing what a manager wants to do. Now, whether it will be turned out, when it will turn out to be the right decision or not, you can't knock the decision to do what he wants to do. As I said this afternoon, he did it with Leno. Who the captain could be? They do lack experience. Ramsdale would be a good keeper, but he's very young, isn't he? 2-0 to Villa. 2-0 to Villa. Saka's probably a bit young. Ramsdale's only just joined. We've seen what that can do when you go with someone like that, like we did with Harry Maguire. I don't know. I don't think there's any natural captain, really. Tierney's always injured, isn't he? I don't know whether he's captain material. But that's not a reason to not give it to take it off Aubameyang. You know, if Arteta feels he's took the piss, then, you know, he's got to manage the team. And the trouble is, if you've got a captain that's a piss taker, that can infect the whole team. So I don't really blame Arteta doing it. I mean, you get people like Piers Morgan, and I know he's an Arsenal fan, but that doesn't mean... I know people who have Aubameyang on WhatsApp, and they're very vocal about certain players and managers, but they'll never say anything against Aubameyang because he's their mate. That comes across to me from Piers Morgan. Oh, I love Aubameyang, you know, I've had my photo taken with him, he's a great lad. Well, as a Man United fan, he's nowhere near the player he should be. He's on massive amounts of money, and Arsenal aren't where you want to be. Maybe you want to take a little look at, maybe that's a problem, and maybe Arteta's looking at that as a problem. And maybe it will prove to be incorrect what he's done, but, you know, I've seen it at United. When players start to drift off, you need to get rid of them. I mentioned about Aubameyang at the weekend. I think I quote tweeted Piers Morgan, and I said, you're living in the past, Piers, because if Aubameyang's finished, he's finished. And we had it with Rooney. Rooney was a bigger, much better player than Aubameyang, and a much more bigger icon of Manchester United than Aubameyang will ever be for Arsenal. But at the end, lots of United fans wanted Rooney to go because he just wasn't the same player anymore. And Aubameyang is good double save by the Leeds keeper, but he can't save the third one. It's Pebbles. It's 6-0, and it's unbelievable, Jeff. It's unbelievable. It's now 6-0 to Manchester City. John Stones. 2 good saves by the keeper, but then John Stones makes it with the third attempt. It's a question of how many they can get now. Somebody did say 8 in the first half. Slow Sports News. Manchester United v Brentford called off. Man City might still feel clash with Leeds will go ahead to Sacking. And hi Mark, what's the first movie you remember seeing at the cinema? Hope you and your family have a great Christmas, says Matthew Turner. And you as well. John Stones just scored, Pebbles. The first film I remember watching was Return of the Jedi. But yeah, going back to the Aubameyang thing, I don't think Arteta's got it wrong. You don't know the half of what's gone on behind closed doors. He's clearly disrespected the club and the manager, and he's had enough of it. So he's took the captaincy off him, and he's given him a, you know, he's not involving him for the Arsenal game, for the West Ham game. The dangerous thing about modern football is if West Ham beat Arsenal tomorrow, lots of the Arsenal fan base will say, "Oh, it's Arteta, he's shit, Aubameyang in." But I've watched Arsenal with Aubameyang. He's nowhere near the player he was 2 years ago. So, you know, I think that, as I said, some people in football clubs some fans in football clubs value players over the actual club. And I think there's some fans at Arsenal, including Piers Morgan, who value Aubameyang over their actual club. And because he's their favourite, they're blind to the negatives that he's bringing to that team. So we've seen it with United with certain players. And as I said, it doesn't necessarily mean Aubameyang's a bad lad. He just might not be good enough anymore. And we've seen, as I said, we saw that with Rooney at United at the end. Manchester United are miles behind City. Well, of course we are. Probably not as far as we were behind City now. We've got Ranić and got rid of Ollie. Lots of people are saying 8-0 now. A few people did predict 8-0 in the first half. 15 minutes to do it. You'd fancy... I'm going to say 7. I think it'll be 7. Have you ever seen Sons of Anarchy? Yes, I have. Very much enjoyed it, Luke Smith. As I was saying before, I mean, get in the chat. We don't normally get this at Christmas. The Witcher Season 2, I think, is out on Friday. Book of Boba Fett is coming out, I think, just after Christmas. And Cobra Kai season 3 or 4 is coming out just before New Year as well. So 3 big series. I don't know whether there's anything else coming out. As an Arsenal fan, always expected it as he caused issues at Dortmund towards the end. We do need an out-and-out number 9, says Mushy. Hassan says that Poznan from City fans was incredible. The whole stadium was doing it. Tom says, can we be friends? Pints on me. You know, I am actually out for drinks on Thursday afternoon. I was tempted to tell everyone where I'm going to be, but it would just be chaos. And I think you've got to be socially aware with COVID. But Ozark, I don't know when the new season of Ozark comes out. It's not Christmas though. Aki 7. So Goldbridge is right. It is 7 now. You might be right with 8. I don't think my 7's going to hold out for 13 minutes. 7-0 now. I mean, the goals they're conceding now are just crap. Like that sort of goal should not be being conceded. It's a corner. Aki jumps between 2 Leeds players and just heads it straight back from whence it came. I don't rate this Leeds keeper. I really don't. I know some of you do. I don't rate this Leeds keeper. Now, Man City have been superb tonight, but 7-0 with 12 minutes to go. It's just unbelievable. I know Leeds have got injury problems, but in a very different way, Leeds remind me of Sheffield United. Remember the first season Sheffield United came up and nobody could really deal with them. And then the second season, everyone could deal with them. And I think with Leeds, last year, a lot of teams found them difficult to play against. And I think what they've done is, United didn't. And I think a lot of teams just look at how teams beat Leeds last year and now everyone's doing it. So I think Leeds' system has sort of been figured out and they're going to struggle. I don't think they'll go down, but they're not going to be anywhere near mid-table. They're going to be bottom half of the table, definitely. But in defence of Bielsa, I do think Bielsa's a good coach. And one thing people don't want to do in football is look at things pragmatically. And look, even though Pep is a better coach than Bielsa, look at the players Pep's got and look at the players Leeds have got. It wouldn't matter if they played exactly the same style of football. Man City would still beat them because they've got better players, and that Leeds team is basically a championship side. Like there's hardly any players in that Leeds team that are better than championship players. There's probably 3, maybe 4. So he does do it with players that are not good enough. But 7-0 is a real problem. And as Afdings has just said there, even Aki scored. So please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. We're doing West Ham Arsenal tomorrow night on this channel, so join me for that. But at this moment in time, it is 7-0 to Manchester City. Now, there's still 10 minutes. A lot of you said 8. Let's see if it goes to 8. Villa are going to win as well. I agree with you, Devils 58. I don't think Leeds have got good players. I think Bielsa's done a very good job with system players that are championship players. But Mark, stop focusing on Gabonese Jamie Vardy. Focus on our silly club who couldn't be bothered to play in Portugal team with 15 COVID cases still played, says Andrew C. Well, we'll find out tomorrow, Andrew. I mean, I'll reserve judgment on that, but United just decided they weren't going to train on Monday, didn't they? And that basically meant that we couldn't play tonight. And let's see how many COVID cases we've actually got. Because I think if all clubs did what United did, then we'd have a lot more games cancelled. We'll have to just wait and see. Reserve judgment is what I would say. Lovely run by Grealish here. They want 8. And Foden could have probably put that out to Mahrez. He'll get it back again here. And this time I think he will go to Mahrez, surely. What a play. I think Mahrez is ridiculously underrated. I've jinxed him. He's just done a shit pass. Man of the match, Mark, says Kieran. Leeds are on the attack. Could be 7-1. Oh, Aki's there. Puts it out for a corner. Who do you want to win tomorrow in the Arsenal or West Ham game, says Whiskey. I would love a draw. I will love a draw tomorrow because that's the best result for United, really. If West Ham win, they go 4 points ahead of us. If Arsenal win, they go ahead of us. So, a draw. 25 million for Dan James. Cheers, Leeds, says Palmarius. Yeah, I was always happy with that. I mean, I would agree with Tyler Smith. I would probably give De Bruyne man of the match, but I don't know whether that's just because it's De Bruyne and, has he really been man of the match? I think Mahrez has been fantastic as well. I think United versus Brentford will happen in January now. Man United have got a lot of midweeks free in January because we're not in the Carabao Cup. So, yeah. I think if Brighton gets rearranged, that won't happen till January either. So, I'm really hopeful that the game will happen, but Brighton are playing tomorrow night, so let's see how they react afterwards and whether they pick up any more cases. Salah or Haaland, says David Davine. I mean, I don't know. Salah, easy. I don't know whether it was true, but I had heard a rumour that Man City had a bit of a COVID outbreak. I don't know whether that's true. Karen says, I feel very sad and depressed due to career issues nowadays. Change your career, Karen. Change your career. If you're not happy in your career, change it. That doesn't mean retire or hand your notice in, but there's that great line out of The Office, isn't it? It's better to be at the bottom of a ladder that you want to climb than halfway up a ladder you don't. So, you're only here once. I career changed in my mid-20s, and that was a good move. And then I career changed again in my mid-30s, and that was a good career move. And then I did it again. So, just I have people message me sometimes and say I did really bad in my exams when they're 17, and I think I did shit in my exams. 17 is no age. You've got a whole life ahead of you, and it's never too late. You've still got time. The most important thing is is the pursuit of happiness. If you can find something that you enjoy, then do it. I can't believe Benitez is still manager of Everton. I've said this before. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. I mean, there's a good thing there about Paul Lucas says always reinvent yourself. I mean, some people don't. They I know friends from school who left school at 16 as an apprentice and are still doing that job all these years later. And I know other people who are a little bit like me who do change quite a lot, but that's because I've got quite a I don't know what the word is. I've not got a short attention span, but I do. Oh, here we go. Mahrez. It's a 3v3. He skips past one. He's going to keep going here, Mahrez. Into De Bruyne. Oh, well read. It might not be 8. Scooby, dude. Ollie to Everton is a load of crap, Rohit. I don't know why people do that. Think that there's anything true in that. Chelsea Everton watch along. I'd like to do it, but I probably won't be able to do it because I'll be out drinking in the afternoon. It's like Christmas party time for me, Thursday afternoon. But we are doing Arsenal tomorrow. I've got another watch along on Saturday and another watch along on Sunday. So lots of watch alongs to come. Mark Preston says, love yourself, love your family, love your neighbours. First two's fine, but my mate did that. Loved his family, loved his life, and then had an affair with the neighbour and ruined it all. So I'd draw the line there. Well, I said 7-0. Could go to 8. Leeds, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute, but let me just check something here. We're only 100 subscribers away from 598,000. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Christmas present for That's Football. We're trying to get to 600,000 subscribers by Christmas. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. My FIFA career mode, a lot of people are interested in this. Proctor the Doctor. First episode of after promotion, so second season, but first episode of second season tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Goldbridge TV on Twitch. Make sure you're there. Links in the video description. Make sure you give it a follow so you get a notification. I'll be tweeting it out as well. First 3 games of the season, we've got Liverpool, Spurs and Chelsea. So it's a tough start for a newly promoted team. Leeds at the moment are currently in 16th place, but they are 5 points off Burnley and 6 points off Newcastle and Norwich. So Leeds don't really need to be worrying about going down because they've got such a big gap on everyone else. And remember, I think Norwich have already lost. I don't know whether they've lost yet, but they have lost. So big win for Villa, that. But let's have a look. Aston Villa. He's won 4 out of his first 6. Gerrard. Leeds' next few games are this. They've got a game at the weekend against Arsenal, which we'll be doing a watch-along for, actually. Massive game that'll be. Then they've got Liverpool. Then they've got Villa. And then they've got Burnley on the 2nd of January, which is a massive game for them. But tough games over the Christmas period. Oh, you know what? I really hope, really hope we don't get any... lots of games cancelled over Christmas, because I love the Christmas sport. I really do love Christmas sport. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that happen. I've just seen on BBC iPlayer there, The Terror. Oh, what a series that was. I loved it. Watch it. If you want to watch a really sort of Christmassy... It's not Christmassy, but there's snow in it, but it's horror, good, atmospheric... late night sort of thing to watch. The Terror is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I loved watching that at the start of the year. Put a tweet out there about Gerrard. Who do you think is most likely to win the league? Well, I predicted Man City at the start of the season, so I look a bit of a genius now, but they've just got this... I don't want Man City to win it. I want Chelsea to win it, because I don't like Liverpool, I don't like Man City as a United fan, but I've seen Man City do this last year. They just get in this groove where they just can't stop winning, and that's very hard to stop. So thanks for that, Scott. Thanks for all the super chats tonight and the normal chats. It's been a really good chat tonight. I really enjoyed it. So tomorrow I think we'll get a better game between Arsenal and West Ham. A closer game anyway. But look, I said I'd do a watch along tonight because Man United Brentford should have been the watch along I was doing on the United stand. De Bruyne has just been given man of the match by BT. But, you know, it's not been a competitive game, but we've seen 7 goals. Leeds could still come back into it. I agree with Azim. You know, Leeds could still get an equaliser here. Can you say a massive happy birthday to Olivia Poynton, who's a big fan of yours and watches all your lives, says Matthew. Happy birthday to Olivia. Hope you have a fantastic day. And thank you very much to Matthew for the super chat. Only City fans would leave the stadium when they're 7-0 up. Have a good Christmas, Mark, says Brad. Thank you. Lots of more streams to do before Christmas, but it is Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. Make sure you keep an eye out for my Goldbridge Cooks Christmas dinner. It's a real battle doing it, actually, because it really encapsulates the trauma of cooking a Christmas dinner. But last year I bottled it. I do a bit of cooking with Goldbridge, and last year I wanted to do something festive, so I did my Christmas Eve recipe, which is basically hot dogs. Dead easy to do, but all year people have been saying, please do a Christmas dinner, please do a Christmas dinner. So I did a Christmas dinner today. I filmed it. I just need to edit it. Do give it a watch. It's quite there's some quite funny. There's an update on I forgot his name as well. I'm getting really forgetful in my old age. John. Hey Mark, greetings from 85 Degrees Florida. Do you like Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol? One of the best Christmas movies. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes, it is. The rat who plays Dangan. And Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol. I'm not a big fan of Christmas Carol. My favourite in fact, one of my favourite Disney things and my favourite Christmas Carol is Mickey's Christmas Carol. There you go. Check it out on the Disney Channel. I quite like it. The watch-along chat has been far better than the match. 100%. Oh, Leeds! Oh, they're so shit. They're so shit. Does anyone know what the best ever comeback has been? I remember an African Nations Cup game years ago. I think it was 4-0. And I think it involved Etu. So would that have been Ghana? What African country did Etu play for? Was he... No, it's Cameroon, wasn't it? So they were 4-0 up with 10 minutes to go and it ended up 4-4. But I think a lot of people... I remember in those days I used to have a little bet and somebody said to me, never bet on the African nations because weird results happen. And I don't know whether they meant it's corrupt or not. But Arsenal versus Newcastle, 4-0 up at half-time. Nigeria lost a 4-0 lead. But yeah, but that was half time with Newcastle and Arsenal. I think this was 10 minutes to go in the African nations, and it was 4-0, and it ended up 4-4, or it might have been 3-0, but it was like hardly any time to go. Anyway, it's full time. It finishes 7-0 to Manchester City. So I was right on my prediction when it was like 6, but my pre-match was 3-0. It's annihilation for Leeds. It's domination from Manchester City, and it's been a fantastic stream. I really appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Really enjoyed it. So no, I'm not talking about the greatest. Let's see, I've got Liverpool fans talking about Istanbul now. I'll talk about what about Chris Istanbul, but no, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about like the best comeback in the shortest period of time from the biggest scoreline. So that whatever game I'm talking about was an African Nations Cup, and it was either 3 or 4-0 with 10 minutes to go. Now, I don't want to see the dog and duck against, you know, the Parrot and Peach. I want to, you know, I'm talking about a big game with the shortest ever comeback. But there you go. I much prefer. I'm like Alfie. I prefer Chris Istanbul to Istanbul, where Suarez was crying. Loved it. But you know, that's just rivalry for you. There we go. Anyway, we'll be back on this channel tomorrow night. It'll be Arsenal against West Ham. I'm really looking forward to that. So make sure you tune in for that. If you like the FIFA career mode or you want to get into the FIFA career mode, it's United Stand FC on a created career. We've got through the playoffs in the Championship. We're starting in the Premier League tomorrow. We've got Liverpool, Spurs and Chelsea in our first 3 games. I've dabbled in the transfer market, but realistically, I've basically poached players from relegated Premier League clubs. One of which is a Leeds player. So tune in tomorrow for that on Goldbridge TV. I've dropped the link in the video description from around 3 o'clock. I will be tweeting it off at Mark Goldbridge. Thanks everyone for watching. I've really enjoyed the chat. The game's been a bit dull because it was just so one-sided, but I've really enjoyed the chat. Take care everyone, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.